An Israeli startup aimed at helping retail stores gather insight on shopper behavior has been making waves internationally, just not in the way you'd think. StoreSmarts' innovating polling technology helps stores understand what their customers want, but it can also be used to gather important information about world events. Eyal Ben-Eliyahu and Ilai Fallach are the founders of this powerful Israeli startup, and they're here with more. Thanks for coming in.
Sure.
So first of all, what is StoreSmarts?
So StoreSmarts is actually a tool that helps retailers in the world learn about their shoppers' behavior in the stores. It's very similar to Google Analytics, but actually for real-world stores and not for commercial websites in the online world. So we empower retailers to know more about their shoppers' behavior. We do it by measuring Wi-Fi signals inside these stores that every smartphone is actually transmitting.
So essentially when somebody walks into a store, they enter the Wi-Fi of that store and the store is able to access what they're doing.
So actually, what's very unique about our technology is that we do not require the end shopper to do almost anything. The fact that you have a smartphone and your Wi-Fi is on makes the smartphone look constantly for routers in the area. So every few seconds, the smartphone sends a signal saying, hey, I'm smartphone 123, I would like to connect to this router. And it's enough for us, only this information, to learn about the shopper's behavior. I'll give you a small example. So we can learn, for example, how many shoppers are walking by your stores in the mall and not just entering. How much are entering? How good is your window display? For how long people stay in each part of the store? And is it's a returning shopper or a new shopper?
What about rights to privacy? You know, users who are worried about being tracked otherwise.
Sure. So it's a great question. There are a few different regulations, whether it's Europe, Israel, the US, and the rest of the world. We are binding to all of them. So we are doing whatever needed to be on the right side of the legal aspect. But in short, this unique idea of a smartphone is legally to track or to measure. And where we need, we also do a one-way hashing mechanism, which for, if to talk normal language and not computer science language, we simply make sure that we cannot track this person. And even more than that, we don't even know if the person that carries the smartphone is a woman, a man, if it's a kid, what's his age. So for sure we don't know his real ID, his name.
But you're still able to provide these analytics to companies,
of course,
which is interesting. So
yeah.
How did you come up with the idea for this technology? It's pretty special.
Yeah, so it was actually kind of funny story. So when we started, we were the four of us, Ilai, myself, and two other guys. And we had this small computer called Raspberry Pi, really cool ones. And we connected a Wi-Fi adapter to it to start scanning. And what we really wanted to do is that when I am coming to Ilai's apartment, he would actually have a notice before. So he could sense my smartphone 1 minute.
So he could leave just in time.
Yeah. So he can leave or get prepared.
Yeah.
So that's where we started. And then when we looked at the tables of Wi-Fi and the logs that we saw in the computer, we saw that, wow, there's tons of information. And then we said, okay, who's going to be interested in that? And retailers, malls, it's fascinating data for them. It changed the whole way that they take decisions. Because today, how do you evaluate a marketing campaign in retail, not only from the POS, from the point of sale? Or how do you evaluate a window display? The vitrine
if people want to walk in or they don't want to walk in, you can see those analytics and they'll tell you if what you're doing is working.
Exactly.
I understand, Ilai, that your technology was also used in Brazil recently for a very interesting cause. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, of course. So basically in Brazil and all over the world, we work with resellers. And the resellers are mostly targeting retail. But our reseller in Brazil saw the riots there and the protests. And they thought that they could use it and help the government and the publication and everyone else to understand what really happens in the protests, how many people are there. So they actually installed a few of our systems around the main streets that the protest was in.
So it's interesting because you can take that data and kind of get a sense of what's going to happen in future protests, right? So this is something that this technology is something that can be applied to more than just retail stores, but actually the world. So what is the future? Where do you guys envision, your company headed?
Yeah. Look, so it's one of the most interesting things in what we do. We are part of a big, data revolution or data era. So in the basics, we help retailers take data-driven decisions, but it also, you can apply it to protests. You can apply it to a lot of things, and it's just, just wonderful to have this power. And what we really liked regarding Brazil, by the way, and the protests, is that it's a very challenging journey to create a company, build a startup, but if your technology can help the common people sometime and to have a power of a good technology, it's something that's nice for us to do.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on what you guys have created. It looks like you're really expanding worldwide. I know some of your clients right now, you have Pandora, Armani, right? So it's huge. Good job.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.